What up, world, and welcome back to the Inside the Hive podcast. What a championship weekend it was. Two great games, and who's ready for the Super Bowl now? So, let's start out with the 3 o'clock game. We're gonna keep this kind of cut and dry because there's more to analyze in the night game. It's pretty simple. The Eagles ran down the Commanders' throats. 7 rushing touchdowns, 3 by Barkley, 3 by Hurts. I know some tush push was in there, but that's okay. It counts. 55 points. Special teams was great. The defense for the Eagles was great. It was all working for the Eagles. And for that, they're heading to their Super Bowl. And they're going to be facing the Chiefs. Oh, Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's another rematch. I know that's not what people want, but hey, it's essentially, it is the two best teams that are left in the playoffs. And that's what you want. Yeah, it looks like we've seen it before. There's a few differences, a.k.a. Saquon Barkley. But it'll be entertaining either way. But as I said, it is pretty cutthroat. Eagles just ran the ball. It looked like the Commanders would have control of this game, taking 7 minutes and 3 seconds on their first drive. 18 plays. Yes, they only came away with 3 points, but that tempo of we're going to hold the ball, and they ended up with two third down conversions and 2 fourth down conversions on that first drive. They had a fake punt. Not on that drive, but in the game. They pulled out their trickery, and they went for it like they did all year. But it was just the Eagles' game to run, and that's exactly what they did. But you give credit to the Commanders. No one thought they'd be here. At the end of the last time I checked the lines, the Commanders are at 60% on the money, which is insane. Like, as I said, last week, do not count out the Commanders one bit. Like, there's a chance they do win today, or now a couple days ago as you're hearing this. They do win and beat the Eagles. But Eagles, yeah, Commanders took 7 minutes and 3 seconds to start the game, but Eagles get the ball, boom, 18 seconds, 60 yards, touchdown, Saquon Barkley, and just injected energy into that stadium, and it's just pretty cutthroat of how this game was, and it was clear they just kept running the ball. But give credit, Jaden Daniels. He's a young star. Now, for me, I invest in sports cards. A couple years ago, I invested in the Jordan Love, and look where he is now. And I'm probably gonna, there's a point of you gotta cash in, and Jaden Daniels has just set the bar, and it's pretty up there now. And if you don't have something already, you're probably missing out. But if you're able to pull something yourself, definitely hold on to it. Jaden Daniels is a young star on the rise. Washington's got the quarterback. This is going to be a fun, entertaining matchup for the next couple of years, and I look forward to it when it does show up on TV. Hopefully they give us a Sunday night game next year for them. That would be Sunday night or Monday night, like solo just them next year. Not Thursday night, Sunday night or a Monday night game. I look forward to it. They are the real deal. Now, I learned something today. Probably y'all did too. When they were trying to go for a tush push and the Commanders get called for offsides. Apparently, there's a rule in the rule book that the referees can award a free touchdown to the team if they kept doing the same thing and getting penalties, because there's a point where they couldn't do half the distance to goal. They just replayed the down, and I believe if they did it one more time, the Eagles would have gotten a free touchdown because they did it too many times. I didn't know that was even a thing until today, and I watched it and him explain it. I'm like, what? I was getting so confused. But again, you learn something new every day. So, but congratulations to the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. And what a hell of a season for the Commanders. Now let's get on to the night game, Bills-Chiefs. Let me simply put it, there was no way the Chiefs were losing. You cannot bet against Mahomes in the playoffs. He has won 9 straight games in the playoffs, the second longest in NFL history besides the early 2000s Patriots, where they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. They ended up winning 10 games in a row before they lost. So you start trying to compare Chiefs Patriots. We'll get to that a little later in the episode, but just wow. It was close all game. I know there were some controversial calls. We'll get into it in just a bit on my side, but there's not much more to say. Mahomes did his thing, and it was close. Like, the Bills had their chances, and it looked like the Bills were going to win at a few points, but Mahomes found a way. And to be honest, the way they got there wasn't even like, oh, the refs. No, there was no ref play in them in all this. So, but that was one hell of a game. I was sweating, and they're going to the 3rd straight Super Bowl. As I said, we're going to rematch, but it's okay. It's okay. So, now if you want to break down, we can break it down even further. Now, to be honest, the Bills should have punted on 4th and 5th at the 2-minute warning instead of going for it. They had all 3 timeouts. They definitely could have gotten the ball back with probably about 40 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And that's if you stop Kansas City. If you punt, you're putting them in there deep in their own zone. And if you stop them, you're getting it back at like the 45-50. So you're in good range. So you're in a chance to tie this game, send it to overtime. But nope. They went for it, and they got pressured, and then they couldn't stop Mahomes. And it ended up being with like a minute 20 left, and the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl. Now, I know there are 2 controversial calls. The catch, no catch, and did Josh Allen get the first down? Now, let us all realize this was a tie game. So it's anyone's game once it's tied. Now, of course, when the Bills tied it, so you have to give the ball back to the Chiefs. Now, I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm thinking the Chiefs are going to milk this 6 minutes. No. They got down to 3:30. They gave the Bills a chance. So it was right there in front of them for the Bills to take, and they just couldn't. So even though those other 2 controversial calls were in the game, it in my eyes, it doesn't matter because the game played out and it was tied. It was anyone's chance to win. So I've watched some videos on the catch, no catch, and it's really hard to tell. I see where people say, like, since it did touch the ground, but it looked like he had control. It was to his body. I didn't see much movement. So I think it was a catch. It's really, really hard to tell. Just too many hands and how they're coming down. I do see the point of people saying it did touch the ground. I did see that. But I think there was some possession and, yeah. But again, still, even then, even if they didn't get the touchdown on that drive, they still got points. And, again, we got to the point of being tied. So, if the game was tied and then there was a controversial play, then maybe we're talking about it differently. But for me, it was tied. Anyone had a chance. They both had a chance with the ball. And the Chiefs got... It's like the overtime rules. They both were tied. Chiefs got the ball. They scored 3. Bills had a chance to counter-react, and they did. So, the other one, did Josh Allen get the first down? Now, for me, for people listening, I'm going to use my hands here. Hold on. So, the ball, I feel like the ball wasn't vertical. It was more horizontal or diagonal. So, when Josh Allen's trying to go, the ball is still not crossed the plane yet. It does look like it. It's really hard to tell because you look at one way, you see it. You look at the other way, you can't see it. But I know the no catch was challenged, and the Bills and Josh Allen trying to go for the first down was reviewed. It's like baseball. Bang, bang. Whatever's called on the field will most likely stand 9 out of 10 times. And that's how it was. That's how you look at it. It's really hard to tell for both. And you can't sit here and flip it because it probably looks bad that you're flipping it. They were both bang bang, really hard to tell, very controversial in did he get it, did he not get it, did he hold on, did he not hold on. But what was called in the field stands, and I feel that that's fair. As much as I know people won't agree with me, but it's fair in my eyes. Again, they got it tied. They both have a shot. Chiefs got 3. Buffalo had a shot to tie it or take the lead, and the Chiefs defense did their job. And listen, there was a stoppage. Like, the Bills hadn't used any other timeouts. They could have punted. And they could have, even if the Chiefs worked their, now again, you run out of time at that point if the Chiefs work down the field. But if they held them, you're still down 3. You just need a touchdown, and you're in great position to do it. Josh Allen could have thrown the ball in the middle of the field and been fine because you could have spiked it. But it's tough. I'm saying they should have punted. That's just me. They had 3 timeouts. If they had maybe 1, I would see go for it. Yeah, because you're not going to be able to do all that. So, but 2 is again there. Like you're definitely going to cut it close. But they had all 3. So, great games all around. And I know one I was going through the videos and watching it. Now, you got to appreciate greatness. Now, for me, I grew up in New York. I hated Boston sports. So that's why I had a hatred towards Tom Brady. And seeing him go to the playoffs every year and having a chance to win every year. Now, I feel like a lot of people feel the same. But think about it. It's been 7 seasons of Mahomes. It's not like 20 years where, you're at the later end, it's like always. Like, when I started watching football, it kind of felt like that. But, we're watching something that probably will not happen again ever. And if it does, it'll be amazing. But we sit here and we're watching greatness right in front of us. Now, yes, I understand there was some controversy with the Patriots, and there was. But there hasn't been, no controversy that has really affected the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs just win. Mahomes has not lost a playoff game in 1,092 days, which was against the Bengals in the overtime and sent the Bengals to the Super Bowl. We're talking 3 years. By the time the Super Bowl was played, Mahomes would have gone over 3 years without a loss in the playoffs. 9 straight. 1 away from tying Brady's Patriots from back in the day. And during that span, they won 3 Super Bowls. Now, of course, this is going to be 3 straight, which no one had ever done. No one had even made it to the conference championship game. They try to go for a 3-peat, and if they did, they didn't even make it to even get a chance to win it. So what they're doing already is historic, trying to go for a 3-peat, and they're 1 win away. So it's going to be a good game. The Chiefs are favorited for the first time in 2 years, which is crazy to think. They were plus money for the past 2 years, and how much people won if you chose the Chiefs. It's absolutely insane. So, again, I understand controversy. They're tough calls to make in the end, and I feel like the refs got it right. You got to give credit where credit's due. There's just no betting against Mahomes. And for me personally, if you do bet 21 or older, or whatever your state laws provide, I can't tell you when I realized that there's just no betting against Mahomes. And even if there was where I would have betted, to be honest, I believe the only game I would have lost, let's see. Hmm. I want to say it would have been that Bengals game. So in hindsight, because I believe New York betting was starting in 2022, so we're 3 years deep. You're telling me I have lost one game in the playoffs if I bet on Mahomes, and it was an overtime loss, which could have gone either way. That's insane to say. The fact that since then he's won 9 straight playoff games, and even then he would have had at least one to get to that conference game. So, um, yeah, that 10 and I would minimum 10-1. That's insane to say. I'm gonna sit here and bet against Mahomes. No, I think the realization is, um, probably after that first Super Bowl, like after the Eagles, I'm like, yeah. And then you think about it, all that he had to do last year and all the negativity, and I'm like, it don't matter. Yeah, they got a home playoff game, but then went on the road to Buffalo, went on the road to Baltimore, two tough places to play to start with, and won. So I want to say after that first Super Bowl and realizing that run and how amazing that game was, I realized there's just probably no betting against Mahomes, and it's paid off since. And even if it was beforehand, I realized I'm 10-1 minimum betting for Mahomes and winning playoff games. And even that Bengals game was close enough to say, yeah, I bet on Mahomes. Not even I wouldn't even hesitate to say that would have been a bad bet. Just Bengals are just making kicks all postseason anyway, so it was what it was. So I look forward to 2 weeks. I look forward to doing my stats that I do every year. I'm gonna have to go back onto my YouTube channel and watch the 2 years ago. Now, as I said, there's a few differences. Saquon Barkley is one of them. So it's gonna be interesting. And as you can clearly tell, who I'm betting for, and it is straight up Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, the Eagles can run down the Chiefs' throat all they want, but to be honest, I think the Chiefs are just going to answer back, and it's just going to be that simple. If Eagles score, Chiefs going to answer. Like this is going to be again. It's going to come down to who has the ball. Last 2 minutes of the football game. Now, of course, I believe it was tied 35-35 with about 6 minutes left, and Mahomes milked it. Like, he milked out that clock. And they got a field goal, stopped the Eagles, and they won the Super Bowl. So, does Philly have a very equal chance to win? Yes. I feel like they have a better chance to win this one than they did 2 years ago. But do not count out Patrick Mahomes one bit. Because, as I said, 9 straight. It's just at this point, I'd rather lose betting on Mahomes than not bet on Mahomes and then him win. It's just that simple. So, but I look forward to doing what I've done for the past couple years. So, this would be the 4th Super Bowl I've done it because I did it for Rams, Bengals, Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, Niners, and now Chiefs, Eagles again. So I have to go. I have to do all my work for the next couple days to get ready for the Super Bowl. So I look forward to it. I hope you guys all look forward to the Super Bowl as well. It shall be a good one. Will it be as high scoring? I definitely think it'll be high scoring just as last one. Again, I haven't looked at all the lines. I've done nothing yet, but I just know it's going to be good. So. Congratulations, Chiefs. Congratulations, Eagles. What a wonderful performance by the Commanders. Another heartbreak for the Bills, and it sucks. But I think there's a point, yeah, Brady had his points of, just losing, like lost in the divisional round or in the conference championship. There will be a team that maybe does just outdo Mahomes, and it becomes that chance. But then you got to look at the other side. Like, say next year, Bills, Eagles. Like, Bills get the 1 seed. Chiefs end up at the 4th seed. They get a home game. They go on the road. And Oh no, even if they're 4 seed, they're gonna probably. Either way, say for something, or they just don't make the playoffs. If Justin Herbert or Bo Nix go off next year and just outduel Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs don't make the playoffs, which would be absolutely insane to say, but you think about it. If there's no Mahomes, everyone has a shot. So now you're thinking, this is our year. There's no Mahomes to stop anyone in front of us. But now you have everyone else fighting against each other, trying to win a Super Bowl, because you know goddamn well Mahomes is going to reamp and get the 1 seed the following year after that, and then go on and win another Super Bowl, which would be then his 5th. So, but for right now, let's just focus on present day and look forward to 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. I look forward to it. I look forward to maybe working around some of this, but I believe in a three-peat and something that had never been done in NFL history. It's going to happen again. It's going to be the first time, not again, first time it happens, and we're watching greatness in front of us. Just recognize that. As much as, yes, probably most of you are not interested in the Super Bowl because we've seen it before. Do be interested. It's going to be different than it was 2 years ago, and not because of certain players. It's something that happens again. It's a one game to win a championship, not like the other ones where you got to win 4. So appreciate greatness that is in front of us now, because there's a point that Mahomes is going to hang it up, and maybe by the time he's hanging it up, there's another young quarterback that's coming into the league and dominating. And we may see this again in 15 years. So, but for some people, they will never see this again. This amazing run of a starter going to the AFC, the championship game, let alone AFC, the championship game as a starter, 7 straight years. And the fact of the worst loss of it all is an overtime loss by a field goal is absolutely insane. Because the first loss was to the Patriots in overtime, and they didn't even get a chance to hold the ball. So, but I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, turn notifications so you never miss a new post, podcast, YouTube video, or anything. And I will probably most likely see you in 2 weeks after the Super Bowl to recap the Super Bowl. So, unless I think of something in between here. So, other than that, I'll catch you all on the next one. Later.